The number one confusion moms have is whether they are postpartum or not. So today we're talking about postpartum anxiety versus regular anxiety so we can get clarity on who you need to ask help for and how you can start healing faster naturally. If we haven't met, I'm Gregorio, certified women's herbal educator with Dr. Viva Ram and mama of twins. And on this channel, I share all the natural remedies for natural postpartum recovery. This includes anxiety, insomnia, depression, and even rage. So if you want to feel like yourself again, a better version of yourself, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of my new video each Tuesday. So today we're talking about postpartum anxiety versus regular anxiety. Now, even if you were to go over to Google right now and say, what is postpartum? They say the time after childbirth up to 6 weeks. 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, do you feel like yourself again? I certainly didn't. It took way over 2 years for me to feel like myself again. So postpartum is any time after a pregnancy, but for how long? The funny part is some women think it ends at 6 weeks. Some women are breastfeeding and don't feel postpartum. And then some women are 8 years and feel postpartum. 8 years, their children are 8 years old. So it gets very confusing. Plus, we begin into perimenopause, so that makes things even more confusing. Gary Brecka says during the postpartum time and during perimenopause, there's this lead dumping. So what that means is if you have heavy metals in your body, they are released postpartum, after birth, and then again in perimenopause, which is exactly what I've experienced. So there's numbness, shaking, fevers, heat, discomfort in the joints. I remember after having my twins saying, I feel like I'm in perimenopause. So then there's this hormone connection to why we're experiencing anxiety and even, we can say, depression. So because these two parts are very similar, it's very hard to seek out health for what you're experiencing, to seek out help for what you're experiencing, because we don't know whether to seek out a postpartum specialist or just anybody else. So in my opinion, I'd suggest asking help from someone who has been where you are. And now more and more practitioners are narrowing their niche to help you based on their own experience, which is a beautiful thing. So what is regular anxiety? To me, regular anxiety would be someone who has not had children, maybe teenagers or a male, someone who identifies as a male, or someone who's been through trauma and considers themselves having anxiety. Now, the two diagnoses are very similar in that there tends to be nutrient gaps. Our diet is not being assimilated properly. A lot of us have the MTHFR gene, which creates the enzyme, which means we have a hard time assimilating folic acid. And then there's a gut health component. Dysbiosis or leaky gut syndrome is very common in people who have anxiety and or depression. So those are very similar. Additionally, we both need nervous system regulation. We all need nervous system regulation. So that ability to stay calm and to bounce back from anxiety or panic or this fight or flight faster is something we can all benefit from. So maybe the key difference would be whether you're breastfeeding or not. But also, there are key nutrients that a new mom, postpartum or postnatal, has nutrient deficiencies that new moms have that are not being addressed. Rachel Seliga of Innate Traditions says postpartum is any time after a pregnancy. So that means if you've had a baby loss, a miscarriage, or any pregnancy, that you might experience these symptoms of postpartum. Now, postpartum is not limited to postpartum depression. Postpartum is any time after a birth and those symptoms that you experience, which are different for every woman based on her own unique situation. So postpartum anxiety and regular anxiety have some similarities, which, are based in diet, what you're eating, your blood sugar, are you assimilating these nutrients? Dr. Amanda Rose of Rebuild from Depression stated it the best. She opens her book with saying, "My grandmother died of postpartum depression." Isn't that crazy? So she's saying her grandmother struggled with nutrient deficiencies her whole entire life. And you might not agree with that, but that hit hard to me. That hit home. So a lot of the reasons we struggle with this anxiety has to do with nutrient deficiencies. So if you think about how much blood you've lost, whether it's your first pregnancy, your second, or you had twins, and the interventions that were given to you during the birth of your children, most likely you are depleted in some nutrients. If you've had a lot of blood loss, you want to recoup that blood loss with iron, the right B vitamins that you need, zinc, omega-3s. And majority of my moms struggling with postpartum anxiety or postnatal anxiety are not eating enough protein, are not consuming enough amino acids. So we're going to talk about this more in some upcoming videos, but I believe one of the keys for healing postpartum, postnatal anxiety is this amino acid gap. And we'll dive into that deeper in upcoming videos. But that's something to consider. Looking at your diet, looking at your supplements, looking at the medications that you're taking. Are you struggling with digestive issues? And do you have a practice to help you feel calm and safe in your body? Or are you consistently being triggered all day long by babies crying, people yelling, and you're just pushing through the day? So these are the 5 steps that I teach with the Present Mama framework. If you want to learn more about this, make sure you join the free masterclass, the Present Mama Masterclass, where we dive into the root causes of postpartum anxiety. So it comes down to your diet, your supplement choices, the nervous system regulation, the medicine you're choosing to help you stay calm, and then last, healing your gut. So let me know in the comment area below if you feel like you're postpartum and how old your children are. I would love to know. I'll see you next week.